Hello, my friends, and welcome to this week's episode of the Greenlight Weekend Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Brian Nystrom, and we have a very special guest this week. He is actually one of the owners in the company that sponsors us. Our only sponsors are Dead Room Comedy. Dead Room Comedy is a comedy group and production company based in Denver, Colorado. They are absolutely crushing it right now with their new live show, Dead Inside. They've gotten into festivals all around Denver, and now I believe they're doing a festival in California. They're doing the Four Corners Comedy Festival, which is this weekend, and they're just crushing it. Their production of Dead Inside will be at the Durango Arts Center tomorrow, October 2nd at 2 p.m. I'm very excited about that. My show's on Friday at the Powerhouse Science Center at 7 p.m. So by the time their show comes around, I will be done for the festival weekend, I guess, whatever. But that means I can drink and have fun and not think about my set. So that's exciting. Whatever. I'm excited to make friends. I'm excited to try to do some podcasts. I'm excited to see Dead Inside. So go to the Durango Arts Center tomorrow at 2 p.m., October 2nd, Saturday. And go support our sponsors. It's going to be a fun one. If you want to know anything else about Dead Room Comedy, follow them on any social media platform at Dead Room Comedy. They have a website, deadroomcomedy.com, and they have a YouTube channel that's called Dead Room Comedy. They put out a new video each and every Monday on their YouTube and on their Instagram. Very exciting stuff. I said it in the podcast, but their stories, their videos that they put out every Monday, it's one of the few things I stop whatever I'm doing, turn on the sound, I watch the whole thing. This last week, Kate McLaughlin made a feature appearance. Very exciting. But Dead Room Comedy, that's all you need to know. The Four Corners Comedy Festival is going on this weekend, October 1st and 2nd. Like I said, I will be on the Friday, October 1st show at the Powerhouse Science Center at 7 p.m. There will also be a show at the Durango Arts Center at 7 p.m. And there's a dirty show. Damn it, I don't know where the flyer is. There is a dirty show. I believe it's Saturday night, 10:30 p.m. at Starlight Lounge, and it's going to be hosted by Callie motherfucking Parmenter. So you're going to want to catch all of that. Our guest this week, he came in to do 30 minutes at the Starlight Lounge on Monday, so we decided to record a podcast. We didn't have a lot of time on this day. I cut a truckload of firewood, and he drove down from Denver. I was a little tired when we did it. I was hoping for some recovery time between like cutting firewood and doing comedy that night, but that recovery time was filled with Jeff Stonic and me talking, so that was fun. I felt like we loosened up a little bit, gave me a little better chance on stage. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Jeff Stonic is here. Follow him at Jeff and Tonic. He is fucking killing it. I will put all his links in the description, as well as Dead Room Comedy's links like every week because they are our sponsor. Okie dokie. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy this conversation. I'm going to stop blabbering. Big shout out to Ethan Esparza and the Chava people for the intro, outro music. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, episode 153 with my boy, Jeff Stonic.
Everything with cream cheese, orange juice, break fast. I'm out the door to get the dough, speaking to the masses. Hit the road to do a show, microphone madness. Trip easy, cheap sunglasses, straight passion. My third eye active, watching backpacks lead the show, beeping that shit vocally. Hearing me locally, lyrically, know what I'm supposed to be, and I don't got no fear of it. I'm coming for your brain, homie, coming at you spiritually. Stepped into the game, and I knew that flow was slippery, but check my flow though. Turn a whack news to history.
Well, it's a special day, Jeff Stonic.
It is.
Not only are you doing 30 minutes at the Starlight tonight, but we have a fucking sponsor in the house.
Sponsor in the house.
Do you guys even remember that you're
Yeah.
our sole sponsor?
I mean, we've forgotten to do some Dead Room reads. We did like a whole batch of those.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Half of them made me look like an asshole. I appreciated it.
Those are all Jacob's.
I was willing to say them anyway.
Yeah.
Brian, please stop saying the N-word or we will drop our sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
You know, it's just, little bumpers, bowling bumpers for, how we'd like the content to go. But,
Yeah, that's great. I mean, if you don't send me anything, I say the same thing every time. It's
Yeah.
a comedy group and production company based in Denver, Colorado, comprised of 4 very funny stand-up. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just like on repeat.
Right.
Once you get something,
It's verbatim.
Have you ever recorded an intro for a podcast all by yourself and it takes 6 times? Because
That doesn't sound
it's not fun.
like a very spiritually rewarding experience.
Well, and it's always like when I got something to do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
I'm busy, but I got to get this podcast out by Friday, and I try to be consistent.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the game, man.
Yeah. How long have you been consistent with this now?
I took like 2 weeks off, maybe 3, right before I quit my job.
Okay.
I quit my job because I was just jam-packed, man. I was losing my goddamn mind. There was no nights off. I was just busy, and work was crazier than it needed to be, and they wouldn't back off my hours, so I was just like losing my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm not going to do the podcast because, scheduling a guest and then finding time to edit it. And like, it's not easy getting somebody here every week for a time that matches up. And like,
Right.
that's why I don't have a co-host anymore, because it just like staying consistent didn't work with having to rely on somebody else.
Right, especially when there's not a salary in place. Like that's why workplaces
There's
work
no
because there's
incentive.
salary, and
Yeah.
then you should people keep showing up. But when we're doing like creative things like this, whether it's a podcast or like we're doing the videos and trying to be consistent with those, it's really tough without the financial incentive to continue showing up and stuff like that. Because people, time is money, money's time.
Especially for other people, I totally understand. Like
Yeah.
for me, at the very least, I see this as practice talking on a mic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That other people are going to hear at some point or see whatever. It's reps.
Yes.
And I don't know if anything helped me more when I started hosting comedy, because I do record an intro by myself every goddamn week.
Right.
So like starting a comedy show, whether they're paying attention or not, who cares?
Who cares?
Like,
Exactly.
Just keep it rolling, keep it fun.
Yes.
And if you're having fun, chances are it's going to turn the show into fun.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I hosted a show for, I don't know, like 9 comics and a table that was trying to leave last week.
Fun.
And all the comics ate shit. It was awful. Like, but I had a good time with it. And I went up there 12 times or however many. And, you got to fucking try to bring life back. Get a laugh. Fucking make fun of them. At least make the comics laugh. Make it seem like we're having fun back here. So maybe more people come back.
It's the only way you're going to attract anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're having a shit ass time, and because like people can you hear it in your voice, and no one's gonna be allured over to someone saying, "Well, this could have been better, but we're trying our best." But if you're just like fucking going, you might get 1 or 2 in there.
As the host, I feel like your time on stage is, it's your job to keep it rolling.
Yeah.
But I will not laugh at other comics if I don't think it's funny.
No.
Like, I will let you die a slow death and then go up there and try to have fun for 3 minutes or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Comedy's weird.
Comedy is weird, but then sometimes your fun has to come at the expense of the person that bombed, and that's just the way that it works.
My favorite, especially if they turn on the crowd
Yes.
and the crowd already hates them, and you can just like amp that up. Just be like, yeah, you suck.
Yeah,
I love that.
because you're the MC.
Yeah, I don't know if
You
you've
get to
met
use that.
Tones, but
Of course, I've met Tones.
Tones got hammered one night, and I had this show I was hosting at 11th Street, and everybody was doing great.
Yeah.
But Tones got hammered, and he started eating shit.
Yeah.
And then he was like, man, fuck you guys. You guys aren't even fun. So I had 3 minutes of just shitting on Tones, and everybody had my back.
Good.
I love those moments.
Yeah. Because he was being a bit of a dick. That's if that was the case. Because it's not on the crowd; it's always on.
When
the
his
comic.
mom was there to drive him home, I brought her into it. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, just on every level, let's shit on Tones.
Yes.
Because it's the most fun.
It's
I love shitting on my friends in front of a crowd,
absolutely.
especially if they deserve it.
Yeah, because it's all love at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's fun to call people out on their bullshit. It keeps them honest.
Especially if you turn on the crowd, bro.
Yeah.
Never turn on the crowd. I've seen hosts walk crowds. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I
Like,
know.
they're the only reason we're here.
Yeah.
Like, and we're the reason they're here. Like,
Right.
it's a team.
And if we don't get along, then this doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why would you shit on anybody in the crowd that's willing to give you their time? Time is money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so appreciative for a good crowd.
Yeah.
I think you're the first person I've talked to today, by the way.
No, it's like this is you're doing great as far as talking goes.
Just never know when to shut up.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I've talked to I guess the baristas count.
Right. I did talk to a lady at the gas station this morning.
Yeah.
She was a cunt.
Yeah, not good.
Straight up.
Oh no.
I walked in, said morning. She didn't even look up at me. I was the only person in the store. We were
Yeah.
8 feet away from each other when I said this.
Yeah.
Maybe the plexiglass stopped the sound from getting there,
Yeah.
but she didn't even look up.
No.
And yeah, the whole transaction just like, is that it? Like, yeah, I want to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And I did the thing where I had like a gallon of water and whatever, a Kind bar or something. And I was like, whatever's left out of 40 on pump 1. And you just saw her like, ugh. I was like,
Math time.
yeah, just tell me what it costs and I'll fucking break it down for you.
Yeah.
I'm good at numbers.
That's right. Happy to help.
I wish my talents, like numbers. I've always been good with numbers.
Mhm.
I wish it correlated with something I enjoy doing. Because if
Well,
I was
that
an
makes-
accountant, I'd probably kill myself. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't really. I mean, and maybe if there's got to be some way to combine numbers and the outdoors. I guess counting trees.
Oh, okay.
How many saplings this year in the Pike Forest? That's maybe you're gonna be a tree counter.
That's my backup plan. Work for the Forest Service. Make a teacher's salary.
Yes. That's
Okay.
A good American teacher's salary. Nothing too much.
Right,
Keep
right.
you modest. Keep you humble.
Yeah. My stepmom's a teacher. I respect teachers
Oh yeah.
immensely.
Yeah.
They're underpaid.
Yeah. Absolutely. I was listening to an audiobook, and one of the points on the way down here was just like, one of the characters is like, if you're a teacher in America, I don't know why you wouldn't just go to Jakarta or any of these countries where you can work for the elites' kids and they'll just pay you and give you a driver and a chauffeur. And I'm like, that kind of sounds nice.
That does sound
That
nice. I
sounds
bet the
very
job
nice.
comes with bitches. Like,
Yeah, it's just like anything to keep you, and because you're, in this person's world, at least teachers are glorified in other countries.
interesting.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing too with pilots, because I had a buddy who is getting his pilot's license, and his plan is to go to like be a pilot in like Taiwan or Vietnam or something.
They're valued more.
Yeah, he's like, if you're, if he says if you're like a white American pilot, like you can, or whatever, you can go to these other countries and get paid 3 times the salary or whatever.
Because our training programs are sought after? Or?
It's something to do with maybe it's the training programs. You're getting into questions where I don't know anymore.
They
but
just think white people are better.
they maybe are.
If I see an Asian doctor, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, absolutely. And maybe it has something to do with, maybe that's like the byproduct of all of our main export being media. And so like when Harrison Ford or someone like that plays a pilot, we're like, that's what we want our pilots to look like in all these other fucking countries. And so he's opting out of being like a Southwest or one of those, and instead, go across this.
Going overseas.
Which pros and cons. Like I like, money's nice, and I'm sure you could find a sense of community there, but
Yeah, leaving your friends,
yeah,
leaving your culture.
right.
That's scary. But
Yeah.
you can get yourself a nice Asian wife that doesn't speak a lot of English, never chats your ear off. You know
Right.
what I mean? You basically see her as a sex object that cooks and cleans, or is she fucking better? You know what I mean?
That doesn't sound appealing to me. It doesn't sound. I need someone in my life who's an emotional base and who tells me to shut the fuck up. Honestly, like if I had someone who like didn't speak English or what and in my life, like it's not what I want out of a relationship, but
I don't think anybody really does, except
No.
like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like vets. What are the people that live overseas that used to serve?
it's not.
But they're like the main audience at comedy shows when you go to like Asia. Expats. That's the word.
Yes.
They seem to be into that.
Yeah. What do they know that we don't?
Death.
That is true.
Death, suffering.
Yeah.
Pussy's cheaper. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they know.
I've heard the dollar goes farther in Bali, so
Interesting.
reason enough to go to Bali.
But would you move there?
No.
Yeah. You're gonna stay in the States.
I at least I'm already thinking about the fact that like I live in Colorado right now and my parents live in Wisconsin and their health is fine right now, knock on this wood right here. But you scoff.
Wood-ish.
Well, yeah, scoff at this wood. I know you just cut wood all day.
Free
so-
table. Whatever.
Wood-ish. Yeah, I'm already like thinking about like long term.
They're gonna need help one day.
Yeah, they're gonna need help one day, and regardless of their need for my help, I'm gonna want to be around them. with like for the sake of quality time and things like that.
Yeah, nothing makes you want to hang out with old relatives like death around the corner.
Death around the corner, exactly.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So like, yeah, no, I could never like move to a Bali or whatever, and I'm already thinking, if with like comedy and stuff. I used to think like moving from the Midwest to Denver, that Denver was a stop on the way to LA.
Right.
But the more you hear about LA, it seems like a trash fire, and then now.
Well, especially after COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be the spot.
Right.
What are you thinking now? Maybe Austin?
No,
Seems like it's popping.
Austin's popping, Nashville's popping, but I think like a Chicago, just because it is only like an hour and a half away from Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is where my parents call home right now, and so yeah, I don't know. And that's another great thing about Chicago is that it's 2 hours from Milwaukee, 3 from Madison, 3 from St. Louis, 3 from Indianapolis. Like there's all these other markets for comedy that exist that, right now as I'm trying to like do longer sets and stuff, it might be useful to get my name out there in those scenes and stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, comedy's valuable everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if LA is the move or like a giant city right off the bat. Like if you can build a name in a market that size,
Yeah.
like we're 2 hours away, 3 hours away, whatever, that just expands your,
right.
not only your experience, but just, God damn it, my brain's not working today. Exposure. Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the one con to Denver. It is the distance between other markets, but at the same time, the Colorado Springs is a great little scene with like 2 clubs at the moment, and Fort Collins has a brand new club within the last year, and so to your point that comedy is valuable everywhere, it does seem like it's growing more in value in proximity to Denver. But again, like the biggest market is like, Albuquerque's like 6 hours away from there, Kansas City or Omaha, Nebraska.
I don't know if there's ever a reason to go to Albuquerque.
No.
I love the Albuquerque comics. I love Zach Beta and Josh
Yeah.
Fournier, but I
Yeah.
hate that fucking city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't spent a lot of time. Like I spent 2 nights there with like wide eyes because I was like, oh, that was in Breaking Bad. That's
Right.
cool.
That's not cool, though. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Right.
I'm from Farmington, New Mexico, bro.
Right.
That shit's just a bigger Farmington, and it's scarier for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable there.
Right. No, I've heard terrifying anecdotes about like what goes down.
I like happy little mountain towns with calm people where I'm the threat. You know what I mean?
Right.
I prefer to be that.
You
like,
prefer to be the threat. Yes.
Yeah. Until you're walking to your truck and 4 homeless guys start surrounding you.
Yeah.
That's when I'm not the threat.
Is that a literal experience or something you've heard?
Usually they're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually, like, I always just throw out, like, I just got off work, man. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like, even when I'm leaving a set or whatever, because that's the only time I really go out. And I'm walking back to my truck alone.
Yeah.
Is after a comedy set. And, yeah, usually I just say, hey, man, I just got off work. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like, look at my shitty old truck that I'm getting into.
Yeah.
Don't touch my backpack or I'll try to murder you because this notebook is more valuable to me than your life. Like
the joke notebook?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I got 2 of them in my backpack almost always, and the backpack is not cheap.
No.
I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Compared to those notebooks.
Compared to the notebooks.
You ever have somebody put their drink on your notebook?
No, I have a very small one, but that could be aggravating.
I yell usually.
Yeah. Get your fucking.
It's always a comic that is trying to talk to me, like.
Yeah, let me get in here. And,
yeah.
You're like,
or an open notebook, like, bro.
Right.
Fucking tear your head off right now.
That's just someone acting that doesn't have enough care for their own notebook. So of course they're not gonna respect yours.
Probably.
Yeah. Don't associate yourself.
They got ketchup stains and shit all over their notebook. Fucking ramen noodle juice.
Yeah. Fry grease.
Goddamn shame.
Yeah. Roman noodle. Is that what you said?
Ramen noodle.
They said Roman noodle.
I may have. I don't
you
know.
may have.
It's been so long since I've eaten that trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feels good not to eat ramen noodles.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
How old are you?
31.
Yeah, I'm like 28. I'm finally figuring out that like what I put in my body affects the way that I feel.
Yeah, that's about when I did it.
It's a nice thing to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're in jail, ramen noodles are gold.
Sure.
They also cost like 10 times as much as they do in the store.
Right.
Yeah.
In prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, jail. I haven't been to prison.
Jail.
I don't know the whole
Right.
prison scene.
Yeah.
But jail was rough.
You know the jail scene.
Yeah. A little bit.
A little bit.
At least around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough to talk about it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes. That's right.
nothing sexual happened to me. That's cool. I was scared a lot.
Yeah.
Spit up blood because I was nervous and didn't know what my charges were. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
It was a pleasant month.
Pleasant being deployed, ironically, there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It doesn't sound pleasant at all.
Yeah, it's like a forced vacation from work and life and earning money to pay rent when you get out. And
yeah,
it's super cool.
Yeah, because I think you told the story on when I was here once.
I believe you.
Yeah. Like what happened and stuff like that, because I was trying to remember.
Yeah, you guys have a podcast. Have you
We
done more than
do.
one?
More than one? We've put out 3 now.
Nice. I've
Yeah.
only heard the first one.
We've it's it's going all right. I like that transition too. That was good. You guys have a podcast, right? No more jail. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited what we have with the podcast. So this guy Slaughterhouse Studios or this guy Evan Fitzgerald has this thing called Slaughterhouse Studios, and he's got this little mobile podcast set up.
Nice.
And so he was the one that kind of just pulled me aside and said, "Hey, would you ever guys want to do your own podcast? I have this equipment. I could come to you, record it, send you the file, make it really easy for you." Because he just wants to work with comics or anyone that wants to do a podcast. And so that was like just a easy green light moment. We're like, okay, yeah, let's go for it. And
Does he charge you for this?
No.
What?
No. And because we're at a point where it's like not something that we want or necessarily like need to do, like the podcast, but and so we're not like at a point where like this is something that we'd want to pay for because we like desperately want it. But he's kind of he and he just wants more practice with it. So we're kind of the perfect marriage of where we're both at in our us with comedy and building a brand, and him with establishing like a podcast studios, because he just wants to have people under his umbrella.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't remember the name, but someone mentioned that like if someone like Joe Rogan was initially part of some studios thing, and then he went out on his own or something like that. So it's kind of that relationship right now, which is nice.
I'm always interested at the people that aspire to not be the talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Right.
have aspirations, but it's not to be the talent. It's to utilize the talent or be connected with the talent. That's so not ever been an aspiration for me.
Right. It's interesting. Because like he's like when you listen to and I listen to him speak and stuff. There's not a lot of ego involved, and it's really healthy. Like,
Does he do comedy?
He does occasionally. It's not where his priorities are at, and he's got some jokes and stuff like that. And he's made me laugh before, but it's not his priority. His priority is like the podcast.
I wonder if he got on stage to network.
Potentially, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's something I recommend for like my sister in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where it's not a huge arts community. But I'm like, hey, you're a photographer. If you drive up to Milwaukee and start going to these open mics, taking pictures, comics are gonna love you. Yeah, and you're gonna find just not only people that appreciate her art, but like people that are very like-minded, as far as
just artists.
Fucking
weirdos.
Yeah, fucking weirdos that laugh about dark shit and and give each other a lot of second chances. And it's and I think that'd be something that should be valuable. So I could see how like Evan just was like, yeah, I'll do comedy and then meet some people that would want a podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like the exact opposite. I started doing this just so I'd get the balls to get on stage. And
really?
I did this for like a year.
Really?
And I don't know. I always wanted to do comedy because I listened to all the comedy podcasts. I always wanted to be a comic. I wasn't technically aware of the comedy scene.
Yeah.
Which is more common than not. Like, I feel like if everybody in town knew that we're doing comedy, we would have a lot better turnout.
Yeah.
But it's like so many people are like, I didn't even know this was a thing.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I've been doing it every goddamn week for years.
Yeah.
Like at this bar.
Yeah. And I wonder what's the, I mean, do you literally have to have like a sign out front all the time? People walking by, comedy exists here. I'm just as bewildered as you as in Denver as in here is like, how do we tap into that market and let people know that comedy exists on a local level in a quality way?
Right.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows about the theater acts and
right.
You hear about them coming through town, but you don't see the foundation of all that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of gems.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The Dead Room Boys.
That's all I got. We're the gems.
Yeah.
We're each other's gems. That's beautiful.
Oh, I think what I was saying was as like a vehicle to get into like a scene.
Yeah.
Nothing was easier because I went and watched 2 mics before I got on stage, I think. And then after I got on stage, I finally had the balls to like start talking to the other comics.
Yeah.
And the 3 like big dogs in town were your fucking business partners.
Yeah.
And like the first time I tried to talk to them, they're nice enough, you know, but a little dismissive. And the second I said I had a podcast, just fucking bam. Friends.
Look at them.
Yeah. Just
They're like, oh, we want to talk.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I've made a lot of friends through the podcast. Usually after I sit down with somebody for a while.
Yeah.
Like, got a new friend.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like hanging out with the people I consider friends are the same people that have like the same kind of fire in my eyes. And so like you saying you have a podcast is like, oh, this person like takes the time to develop something that they care about and like is proud enough to like talk about it amongst other people. Cool. Like, because that means that you have the same mind about podcasts and comedy that I do about podcast or comedy and videos or whatever. Yeah,
it's the drive to create.
Yeah, the drive to create.
It is. It's attractive. It's appealing.
Yeah.
You know, somebody actually chasing something other than a 9-to-5 and like, because I've always, in my mind, always thought if you want to move forward in life, it comes down to the shit you do when you're not at work.
Yeah.
Like when you clock out, what do? If you just go home and watch TV all fucking day, like you're never going to move forward.
100%.
It's interesting.
No,
because so many people do.
Yeah, and I've been guilty of it too. And
we all have.
Yeah, and I like in this last year, it's been really cool because I've always loved doing holding a camera and editing things and like getting my friends to do like since I was like in 5th, 4th grade. That was what I did as I had friends over and we recorded videos and whatever. And then we did that in high school and I did it in college. And so when I moved to Denver, I'd never had that when I started stand up as a part of like my stand up. Like as part of like what I like I didn't know video had its place in comedy. Yeah. Exactly. And so once Dead Room and I like we committed to doing like a video a week, my like love of video and my ability to do video stopped being this like quiet thing that I knew I was capable of. And then once we started doing it on a weekly basis, people caught on, I got better at it, and now I'm finally at a point where 9 months into doing a video every week, where I figured some new tricks out, and now people want to pay me to make videos for their venues and their events and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's cool, yeah, it's really exciting, but it's because I quit my job like just like you 3 weeks ago, and but when I clocked off Costco, we were like going to film a sketch or we were going to do that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because we had the conversation. We're like, we don't want a year to pass and be like, well, and look back at the year and be like, well, we could have worked harder, and that wouldn't be a good feeling. So it's been nice to like take advantage of the minutes and get better as a result.
Yeah, you guys are grinding, and I can only imagine that this whole like filming for venues or events or whatever is just solidifying more relationships and networking, and it's weird how it all works together, man.
It's really weird.
It's just a common goal at the end. But you got to go down all these different fucking roads to get there.
100%. Yeah. Like there's this venue called like the Louisville Underground. I've always known that they've done shows, but they saw I posted a video in the comedy scene, and then they're like, "Oh, we'd love to have you there." And so it's very funny. So now I'm gonna be at a comedy show filming where I know the comedians already, but I didn't get there through the comedians. I got there through the venue owner,
which is just gonna benefit you in the future.
Yeah,
having that relationship. And as you start growing in your comedy, fame or whatever you want to call it, like you got that relationship that you can just be like, yo, can I do a weekend? Like, what do we got to do to make a weekend happen with Dead Room or whatever? Because you guys got a whole show basically,
right
between the 4 of you, which is brilliant.
No, it's been remarkable to like to talk about doing things and then having like things come to life. And I was even thinking on the way down here to Durango. This is the first time I've come to Durango alone.
Right.
And it's interesting because like I came as a tag along with like Josh and Jacob for the first time, and the other 3, and then all 3 of them, and then just Josh at one point. But it's funny how like those weekends led to this, where now I have my first opportunity to do 30 minutes. I'm talking to you one-on-one like that. Those like today wouldn't happen had those days not gone well or not happened. And it's just
Well, and if those sets had not gone well or not, that's the only impression any of us give a shit about.
Yes.
Is the impression you make on stage.
Yes.
Like, you could be a cool person, but if you eat shit on stage, and I mean, it's fine to eat shit, but if you don't know you ate shit, like if you're fucking, dude, my brain.
Oblivious, delusional.
Yeah, if you think,
Yeah.
like, that went great.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody just saw you eat shit, it's like, oh, we can't be friends anymore.
Now, what if someone killed but was a dick off stage? You know what I mean?
Like Elliot?
Yeah, kind of like Elliot. Yeah.
I mean, his ass is on the
his
wall.
ass is on the wall. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. Elliot's nice enough to, like, pass the vibe check, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you kill on stage, I mean, people will put up with more dickiness.
Yeah.
I guess.
I
don't know. The people I spend time with at Mike's are the people I'm willing to talk to.
Yeah.
Off stage, off camera, off fucking mic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I was gonna say earlier, dude, your videos are the one thing on Instagram that I stop a podcast and turn on the sound and watch the whole thing immediately when it comes out. Like,
thank you.
Because it's fucking hilarious. Not only are you my friends, but I want to see what the fuck you came up with.
Yeah.
The Basement Dweller, by far one of my favorites.
I know. Thank you.
What about
one of my favorites too, and it's like it's a lot of people's favorite, and we haven't had a hit like that since March. You know,
different kind of beans. And
yeah.
What was the shower stomper or
waffle stomper?
Waffle stomper.
Yes,
that was fantastic.
Yeah, that was like our first one we did together, like right when the pandemic hit, and yeah, that was.
You guys are funny, man.
I like those guys. They make me laugh, and it's fun because like Jacob and I live together now. But at first, when Dead Room started, it was Elliot and Jacob were living together, and Josh was always over there, and then I would go over there after Mike's before I drove 20 minutes out to the Lakewood suburb to where I had a room, and that's the foundation of Dead Room, is just like kind of hanging out, and because like they make me laugh so much, I like who I am around them, but since we've started Dead Room and then gotten busier and better, those occasions were all for like hanging out in a room without an agenda of like we got to meet or we got to record a podcast or we got to. It's like never happens, and it's kind of sad. But we're like noticing that now. We're like have a standing weekly meeting on Wednesdays and stuff like that, where we're returning to the to why we became a group in the first place, which is just because we get along and it's nice.
It's all about the hang.
Yeah.
And after you saying that, it has solidified my idea that the guy that kills on stage but he's a dick off, fuck that guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, it's all about the hang.
It is about the hang. You got it. Yeah.
I'd rather hang out with somebody that's cool and them have a shitty opening set or whatever than the opposite.
Yeah. I mean, because it's weird. It sticks with me. I mean, we have a constant conversation in Dead Room of like just our different philosophies of life, and I get it, because I'm from the Midwest and these other three boys aren't, but I'm like overly nice to a way where sometimes it comes off as people pleasing, and so I gotta like check that. And so we have this constant like back and forth of like, are we being too kind and then losing our identities, or are we being not kind enough and then therefore souring relationships? And it's a lot. You think comedy is just like, yeah, organize a show, draw a crowd, do your set, but it's like it's the incomplete life around that.
As if that's not fucking hard enough.
Right. Yeah.
Especially in this town, man.
Yeah.
Every bar has basically kicked us out of this town.
Has it?
Now we're like taking the rounds back again. Like, it'll be different. Like,
yeah.
Let me try.
Right.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah. What is the scene like here now? Like Emma mentioned that it's the kind of just like the Monday.
Pretty much right now. I mean, we had Tuesdays going for a little while, and then whatever relationship soured, couple bad shows, lost the venue, whatever. But I don't know, man. We're trying to get more rolling.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of stuck here for a while because of other opportunities, and it makes me wonder if it's worth it for my comedy to suffer. Like,
sure.
Or if I could just go to a big city and just fuck the money, fuck the opportunity, just fucking grind, be a broke comic.
Yeah.
But I also have a girlfriend, so I can't just like live in my car. Like, me and the dog could hang, but her and her dog, it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm stuck here for a while.
Yeah.
And I wish the scene was a little better, but maybe I can improve it.
I hope. Yeah. I mean, you definitely can.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Any participating player of it can. which is exciting because I mean I know we love coming down here to Durango and doing shows, and the boys really valued this scene when it was coming up. It was like a place to get good and then also feel good at comedy, because if we start in Denver, it's tough to like feel good at comedy for months,
right,
if not years.
Yeah, I did a set in Georgia and did well. I was like, fuck yeah. At least I'm not just shit. You know what I mean? Just because I came from a small scene.
Right.
At least I didn't get up on stage and they fucking laughed me off. You know what I mean? Like, I did good. And that's a charge.
Yeah.
Like, especially in a big market.
Yeah.
Especially after you see, like, 8 people not do good. And, like...
Yeah.
But being in another market gives you such an advantage where they've never seen any of your material.
Right.
So you can tell the bangers if you need to. Yeah. Like, you pull a card out of your pocket. Like, I've made my grandma laugh at this. And the punchline is, I know a dick when I taste one. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's fun being in other markets. I need to come up to Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if... Yeah, have you been up to Denver since I've been...
No. I've never done comedy in Denver.
Oh, you gotta.
I do gotta.
Yeah, it's really fun right now with the amount of, like, open mics and shows happening on, like, a night-to-night basis.
Like, how often are you getting on stage?
Usually, if it's not
or what's the opportunity rather?
I'm probably getting on stage like around 20 times a week.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I mean, you think of it, there's like last night was 4. There's 3 mics and I was on one show, and then tonight in Denver there's 3 or 4 mics, and then Tuesday there's at least 4.
Damn it.
Wednesdays there's like 3 or 4.
So I can pretty much roll up whenever and get stage time.
Yeah. Yeah, Friday night's the only one without a mic, I think, right now. And then the best one, my favorite one, happens on Saturday nights, which is in this guy's backyard. It's called the Humor Underground, and he gives you 5 to 10 minute sets. It feels like a showcase, but it's got it's an open mic.
Right.
But yeah, there's like quality stage time like every night of the week, you know. There's mics on Friday. Vin McCool's, I've heard. I haven't been there, but there's another mic on Friday if you want it. Yeah.
Damn.
It's crazy.
I need to go to cities.
Yeah.
I just need to start making like a monthly trip at least to somewhere for 3 or 4 days and just try to get those reps.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that's what I noticed in Phoenix. Like, first night I kind of got snubbed, but I didn't really understand the layout. And then I made friends with a couple comics over weed. Weird.
Nice.
And
that's how it works.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And then, the next night I hit 3 mics. And by the third one, I didn't care.
Right.
Like, by then I was so goddamn loose that it was kind of hard to fuck with me.
Yeah.
You know? The first one I was a little nervous. Second one was a kava bar. Still did okay. Third one, dive bar. Fucked them up.
Fucked them up.
I love it.
Yeah. Dive bars are so much better than a kava bar.
Yeah.
I haven't done comedy at kava bar, but I've heard some people have, and
it wasn't terrible.
It's just a weird energy.
Yeah. I was just looking for reps. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, take the rep if you got it, but I've heard it's not like kava's not ideal, and like a dab lounge, like a weed place, you gotta like look right at the people, otherwise they'll just glaze over.
Right.
Like, hey, I'm talking to you.
Is there like weed lounges?
There's one. Yeah, I think I've never been to one. There have been, and there's a new show starting on like Sunday nights or something at a weed, like a place where you can smoke indoors.
It's so weird that there's like a distinction there. Like,
yeah.
Do they serve alcohol?
Maybe. I don't know.
So that all they offer is a safe haven.
Pretty much.
Like, they offer what you can do in your car.
Right.
But
which,
I mean, I guess not legally, but
yeah, there's got to be an extra step of appeal there, cuz otherwise I'd just rather hang out with my friends.
It's comedy.
Home. Yeah. There's comedy.
There's comedy.
Yeah. That's why I like doing. We've been doing these basement shows. And in Jacob and I's apartment, where we have a stage and we like clear out all the living room furniture, set up the chairs, and
how many people come to your house?
About 25.
Are they your friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, some people I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
You just invite them into your home?
It was like two weeks ago. We were like, because you can listen back on the recording, because we recorded it as the live event as a podcast. Like the microphones are plugged into the recording equipment, which is then plugged into the amp, and you can hear me saying, "Oh, welcome in. Who do you know?" I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, have a seat.
Right.
It is kind of, we don't have that problem yet. Everyone's been very cool, very chill. We haven't had any like drunk, belligerent people that are like ruining the night.
I'd be more worried about you like getting robbed one night.
Yeah.
Like they follow you on Instagram, they see you're at an open mic. Cool. Let's rob this motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. It is a great point.
The thing about comics, you pretty much always know where they are.
Yeah, that is so true too. Listen, I don't have a lot you can rob. I guess I got a couple things where if
probably still JJ shit.
Yeah, exactly. JJ's got more valuable shit, so I'm gonna put a mental note to talk to him about that.
I mean, keep on keeping on, man.
Keep on keeping on, but it is a worry.
Yeah.
I'm just so oblivious. I'm just like, not oblivious, but like, if we're nice, then everyone will be nice, of course.
Well, and the drive to have a good crowd is almost more than your own protection.
Yeah.
Your shit. It's just shit. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather kill tonight
100%.
in my basement.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's a bunch of strangers in here. Thank God. And then you forget that, like, oh yeah, my laptop's literally right there, and my camera and everything.
Strangers are cool because they don't know your jokes.
Right.
You don't know theirs either.
Yeah, and they don't value me or my possessions. No.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah. I mean, that's like, so that is the major con of the basement show. The pro has been that we can just do drugs while performing, and that's fun.
What kind of drugs?
We did a little MDMA or some shrooms.
Like on stage or before your set?
Before the set. I mean, like we were feeling it, and then performed. The 2 weeks ago we did whatchamacallit, the poppers on stage, which is the
far more popular in the gay community.
Very
Tell us about poppers.
Almost exclusively popular in the gay community. I was given the poppers after a show in Pagosa Springs,
right,
where I performed, and a guy heard my material and just gave me this thing of poppers, and he's like, "Here, you can have these." And I'm like, "Thank you." And he's like, "Go do them in the parking lot." And I'm like, "No, thank you." And he's like, "Well, give them back." I'm like, "But they're mine now."
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to do them now? And then I eventually held on to the poppers.
Oh.
Not that night, but then I went on because Elliot and I were Googling. Because Elliot and I
know they're poppers? How do you know
he
what this
told
person
me
is giving you?
Yeah, exactly.
Are they labeled?
They are. They're labeled solvent cleaner, and it's called Rush. Never fake it. And
is that like a workaround so they can sell it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're sold in like sex shops and shit. And Allie and I were Googling it, and it said like fatal sniffing syndrome or something like that. If it like touches your nose, you can like die.
Like a skin contact?
Yeah. And so we're like, okay, we're never gonna do these. And then I did them. I
like drugs. I get it.
And it was fine. It just makes you fucking warm and shit.
For how long?
I'd say about no longer than a minute.
It's like a whippet.
Yeah. 100% like a whippet. Yeah, it's like a little more, feels a little more chemical-y rather than, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like acid to shrooms. If shrooms are like the whippet, then acid's a little more like electric.
I like acid.
Yeah.
Especially in a setting with any amount of people.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer acid over shrooms.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm the motherfucker that'll be crying in the corner if I'm on shrooms. Like,
Are ya?
I go within.
Yeah.
Like, I've been at not comedy, but music festivals the night before, acid, Molly, partying.
Yes.
Then I did mushrooms one night, and I found myself leaning up against the old shed where I could see the stage, but I had a blanket, and that felt good.
Yeah.
Whereas the night before, I was just raging.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't taken acid in a minute, but that is a little more outside of you. Yeah, it's a little more of an external trip rather than the introspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're not in a good place, or, I mean, I don't know if I've taken a lot of shrooms and really danced.
Yeah.
No. Like a microdose would be okay with that, but a lot.
Yeah, if you just crack the door. Right. You don't need to kick it down.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm a kick it down kind of motherfucker when I'm taking drugs.
Absolutely. Yeah. All we have is tonight, and tonight is the night.
If we're going to do it,
yeah.
Why dick around?
Yeah. I went to my first EDM festival with the Molly, like all that experience, and I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah. I'm like, I put my hand on that bass. I was like, okay, this is nice.
My first one was Red Rocks.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was wild.
Wild. It has to be.
Yeah. By the end of the night, like right before, the headliner was like Deadmau5, and the set before that, we took our third hit of acid.
Yeah.
And then right before Deadmau5 started, my best friend grabbed me and he said, "Don't let me take any more drugs." And I was like, "Me neither, brother."
Top of 3. Yeah.
And Yeah, because you take your third hit right before the headliner, then it kicks in when you're trying to find a ride home.
Right,
and, like,
right.
You know, you don't sleep.
You can't time that. No. Thankfully, the one I went to was like an hour and 15 minutes northeast of Denver, and this like in farm field. Jacob and I were driving on gravel road, and so we found out about this place because this new comic said his friend was hosting an EDM festival on his 50-acre property, and just because the EDM organizers knew this guy and said, yeah, can we throw a festival? And it was camping.
Sick.
On the property. It's called the Reset Campout Festival. So you come to Reset, and
you will.
I was on Labor Day weekend, and fuck, man, that was a lot of, because we were performing comedy there.
Right.
That was how we got in there for free. We had a show at 8 midnight, and then I'm like, we got to do a show at 8 a.m. or whatever with the sunrise. That like we were gonna do 2 shows. And then once the drugs kicked in, I was like, we got to do shows all night. We got to, kick the door in and whatever, as you said. And the comedy was horrible.
Sounds like a terrible environment.
A terrible environment for comedy, because like we're in this corner and there's 3 loud stages, and we had the lights on. It's funny that the guy that organized it, or the comic that told us about it, Justin, he has this GoPro video and he posted because I we were just up there fucking around, and so I just told a shitty butchered version of Norm Macdonald's moth joke.
Okay.
And then a week later, Norm died. So I'm not saying we had something to do with it, but me butchering his joke might have just like crushed his soul into the grave. Yeah.
And out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Dead inside and out. But listen, man, it was a lot of fun.
Sounds fun.
It was a lot of fun.
You were having fun on stage with it.
Yeah.
Like, you realize the situation you're in. Like,
exactly.
I got 15 minutes to kill. What are you guys doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And I ended up like there's this. I was filming a little bit at the festival, and this guy just rolls up on a hoverboard, and he has this letter A, and he just kind of like holds it in my face in the camera, and I was like, okay, this guy's working the camera, right. and then he just kind of like, I have the video, I'll show you in a second, and then he just kind of like goes away, and I ended up just following him, and the dude and I had this friendship for the whole night.
Really?
Silent, like we barely exchanged words. But we just kept dancing near each other, because I'm like, I fuck with you. He's like, because he looked at me like 30 minutes into our silent interaction. He's like, you could fuck shit up, brother, if you wanted to. And I was just like, thank you. And he's like, decide what you want to do. And then we just kind of like, we just started dancing and stuff like that. And at one point I was like puffing a cigarette, and I like just put it in his mouth, and he just like inhales, and he's like, you go, I follow. And so I just started going, and he followed.
Just like around the crowd?
Yeah. And then at some point...
Did you guys fuck, or?
No, we didn't fuck at all, but we had this beautiful like dom-sub relationship that was just a friendship, where like at one point he was like weak and stuff, and I was like spraying him with water, and he's like,
Interesting.
Yeah. And he had this like this jump light rope, like one of those like festival gimmicks, whatever. Not gimmicks, but festival enhancers. A toy, yes. I don't want to offend the Wook community. And so he was like jump roping, and he got to like 3, and he's all fucking proud, and some people were clapping because he got to 3 jumps and stuff like that. I look in his face and I go, just get to 4.
A challenge.
I just put the fucking 4 in his face like that.
And
he just like crumpled. As and it just
3 was all he had in him.
Yeah, exactly. 3 was all in him. But for the next 5 minutes, he fucking tried, and he made a big show of it, of like fucking jumping up to 3, and he would always stop at 3. And then after 5 minutes of like struggling, he like finally nailed 4. Everyone's like, yeah. And then we just fucking danced and had a great time. And then I lost track of him at some point. So my midnight set just ended up being like, has anyone seen the guy with the A? I miss him. And then we eventually reconnected. But
nice.
It was just like, okay. That's what I mean by like, I get it. I'm like, man, we're just on drugs and building little narratives where they don't exist, and fast friends, and I'll never see him again until I go to another one of those festivals.
Festivals really are a build your own adventure story.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's all gonna have music and lights and shit in the background, but what do you want to do with it?
Right. Yeah. And I'd like, yeah, that's fun.
It is fun.
It's so much fun. And like, because I used to be the people that the kind of person that would see people posting about EDM festivals or organizing their years around the 4 festivals they want to hit, and I was just like, well, fuck it, like that's
write a joke, fucking loser.
Exactly, write a joke, get into comedy. This is where life's happening.
It is weird the people that like that becomes their goal in life is to go to shows.
Yeah,
like those people. I think it's a little too far.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There maybe could be a little more substance to them, but and that's just me. Like, they're creative people that want to create, but yeah, I could, like, as far as like think like when you talk about being an accountant or something like that, like if you had like 5 days at Bonnaroo,
right?
And then the accountant, I could see that being a life.
Totally. You got the picture on your desk of like you and your boys, shirtless, fucking glowing headbands and shit.
Yeah.
And that's what you just look forward to every year.
Yeah. And
I could see that.
And you got the group chat, that are sending like, hey, did you hear this new remix that this Billy Strings dropped, whatever.
Oh, Billy Strings got a new album.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet.
I've not got into jam band yet or bluegrass yet.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll really enjoy it, though.
Billy Strings is sick, dude.
Billy Strings is sick?
Yeah.
All right. I'll give it a go.
If you're looking for something different, like, because he's not only an amazing musician, but his songs, like, I got 30 long years for some dust in a baggie. Like,
dust in a baggie, absolutely.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I like the substance.
What is Billy Strings? Is it's bluegrass?
It's a guy, and he plays guitar very, very well.
Okay.
I get folk, bluegrass.
Are they like 4 minute? Like, are they like normal length songs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would say.
But then why does he attract the same kind of like following an environment as like Grateful Dead?
I don't know. It's just like
it's just the content of his lyrics. Is it like very drug friendly and
yeah, I think he's just a really impressive musician.
Okay.
So it like draws in a lot of people.
Got it.
Like the first time I saw it, I was like, this is badass.
Really?
Like, and it's like country music kind of, but
yeah,
which I'm not really into, but I like me some Billy Strings.
I like you some Billy Strings. Okay. I'm always looking for new music, and I you and I have like 4 people that like Billy Strings. I'm like, if we get along and you like Billy Strings, I'll probably like Billy.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the new album yet. It might be super jam bandy.
It might be super jam
20-minute songs. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. Yeah. That was just my impression of like based on
who told you about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they also like EDM or like Grateful Dead, and I'm like, well, then that must be the same.
Right.
But it sounds like it's not at all.
Yeah. I guess the people that I was talking about, not the guy that goes to Bonnaroo once a year or whatever, but the people that go to like 1 or 2 shows a month.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like not only are they running from something, but I also feel like they have a very different relationship with drugs than I do.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to psychedelics, I've really slowed down in my old age, but even when I was younger, if I could keep it to like 4 times a year, it made it special. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there was definitely periods in my life where I was doing psilocybin a lot.
Yeah.
And if there was a point where it felt like the mushrooms were telling me to fucking back off. Like,
sure.
Whoa.
Yeah,
you're not using this as a tool anymore. Like,
Yeah.
once it became a drug to me, the effects became darker.
Yeah.
Like, but if you do it every once in a while, like last time I did it was a year ago, and goddamn, it was beautiful.
Yeah. Because those kind of drugs can open your mind up to like the other kind of like levels of life that we're living.
But I don't think you want to live there.
No, exactly.
Or you lose here.
Because then you cease to honor the physical existence, and then it gets dark.
It's a risky game.
That's no good.
Yeah, I don't like to take risks with my brain.
Yeah. I like took a really heavy shroom trip and loved it, and like took 2 of those like in August or this summer in July. But I much prefer the microdose relationship where it's just enough to elevate, and it's not like that fucking where you cease to like be a human who has the responsibilities or cares about like
capable of maintaining said responsibilities.
Yeah.
Microdosing is interesting. Like things are sharp, like your vision is sharper, and like you just notice everything.
Yeah.
Like I've heard that like past civilizations would take like a little bit of mushrooms before they went hunting and whatnot. And it's just, like, it makes sense when you see every movement of a leaf. You know?
Yeah.
Shit that you never care about.
Right.
And you're just like staring at a tree like, wow, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah. Well, I was walking with my buddy Andy Hamilton, and we had ate some mushroom chocolate that he made, and Like I can tell it's kicking in because I'm noticing the breeze. Once you notice the breeze, you're like, oh.
My favorite part is the giggles, the coming up giggles.
Yeah.
You don't know why you're laughing, but I'm crying.
Yeah.
Like I'm a very on drugs. I cry a lot, but it's all because I'm laughing.
Right.
It's just tears of laughter, tears of joy.
Yeah. And and when you're noticing shit, whether or not like your visual field is literally sharper, like otherwise with like psychedelics, it's just kind of like when done right, like in a microdose, you're no longer lost in thought. We're like we spend all fucking day in our heads and lost in thought.
That's
and
valid.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like just like thoughts. This is what I have to do tomorrow, and all of a sudden, shrooms are just like, man, this is a nice room.
Yeah.
You're a nice person. What's going on?
Yeah.
And you stop giving a shit.
Fucking smell the roses.
Yeah. Like I didn't want to smoke any weed. Like that was my thought. Like driving down, I'm like, oh, I gotta be fucking sharp and stuff like that. But that little bit of weed I smoked right before the thing, like, was just enough to like turn off that part of my brain that says you got to do this to do well tonight.
Right.
And instead, it's just like, oh, just be there tonight. You're a good comedian. Just be present. Whatever happens will happen. It'll as long as like to go back to the host conversation. As long as I'm having fun up there, as long as you're having fun up there, like then it's gonna be a good night.
Especially for 30.
Yeah.
You gotta be having fun. Like,
Yeah.
You can't fake it that long.
No.
You can fake your way through 5-6 minutes if you're having a shitty day.
Right.
But 30's
yeah.
They know you by the end. Like
right.
And they're also choosing not to go home and go to bed so they can wake up for work to watch you.
Yeah.
Like they're invested.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's a privilege to have their audience for no matter who they are, unless they're a drunk guy who's just,
I started my set last week by addressing the guy that was heckling the comic before me.
Yeah.
And the comic before me wasn't having a great set, so he never got to the point where he had the confidence to like address the dude and keep it rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like right when I got up there, he yelled something before I even had the mic in my hand. I was like, all right, me and you are going to have a conversation in front of all these people.
Right.
Like, let's make a deal.
Right, because if you don't say that, then your brain is going to be thinking about what you would be saying if you were talking about it the whole time. And so making that choice to let that part of your brain have the mouth and just go for it. That's like a thing that takes reps to get, but it makes you the better comic and makes the room in your set true to what it needs to be.
I was almost a little too honest. I was like, dude, for the last 8 minutes, I've been sitting right there thinking of mean shit to say to you, but I don't want all these people to hate me because it's going to go over the top.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to fucking lose it and try to burn your life to the ground.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that would be a little much.
Yeah.
But then you acknowledge that. And just that's funny. Like just hearing someone having those thoughts, that's funny because that's how everyone is feeling in that room.
Right.
We're like, we want to fucking murder this person.
And multiple people were like, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
because he just got too comfortable. Because it was 10-minute sets, and he started in the beginning of that dude's set, and he just kept going. He just got too comfortable in it, and somebody had to check him.
Yeah.
But then he also did something really funny. I asked a question after that, and he raised his hand, and I was like, "You motherfucker!" But everybody laughed, and we were cool after that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when they're like, Because ultimately, too, some of those people that are like yelling for 8 minutes, they think they're helping the show.
Exactly.
They do. Yeah. And so you gotta like, in a way, be like, yeah, because if you're a dick, then all of a sudden they think being a dick is helping you be a dick. You know, they go back. But yeah, it sounds like you fucking attacked that well.
You ever have friends that are like, dude, I'll just come and sit in the front row and heckle you?
It's like you don't even know what to say in that instance because it's like I would hate you and never talk to you a bit, and that would ruin our relationship as friends. And
Possibly.
So we would not exist as friendship anymore. But they're probably just kidding. Hopefully. But like as the comic, you're like, yeah, I could never talk to you again if you did that to me.
Right.
Like you're like,
well, not to mention the chances. Even though I'm on stage, it's a lot more pressure. I'm trying to get my shit out. Everybody's looking at me, but the chances of you winning this exchange,
right,
not good. But the chance of me going too far and making the audience hate me, 50-50.
50-50.
Like,
yeah.
'Cause once you light the fuse, it's like, who knows what's gonna come out? It could be a fucking firecracker. It could be dynamite.
And it's so hard to like, because stand-up's the thing. Like in situations where you're angering people is at stake, it's always best to take a breath. But stand-up, it's never really good to take a breath because stand-up is like, say what's on your mind right there. What's there right there, let it go. Because that's the moment. That's the truth. And yeah, the truth can ruin the crowd for sure.
Yeah, make you go home, hate yourself.
Yeah.
Think about it till you can get on stage again.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that doesn't go away until you get on stage again.
Yeah.
Like it just sits with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been doing these bits about where I deliberately like want to make an audience members hate me, so I go after the two things that people in Denver have the most. And I apologize because you have both, but it's dogs and tattoos. And so it's fun to like, because I really love dogs and I love tattoos. I don't have any. And my joke is I don't have any because I'm good with money, but I love them. I love, and I'm not good with money. I'm fucking financing that Honda CRV for 6 years. But the joke is, I just like I like teasing you. I love dogs, but I love teasing you more. You know what I mean?
Sure.
With the audience, and I'm as a comic, I'm just loving that dynamic, playing with that, where it's like if I'm smiling the whole time, but I'm also making you actively hate me. How can we still stay on the same side? And I don't know if I figured it out exactly yet, but
you got time.
Yeah, exactly.
By the time that CRV's paid off, you'll have it, bro.
Yeah.
That's comedy.
Something to look forward to. 6 years. That is good.
But that's also something I've realized. If you don't if you don't make an effort to do crowd work, you will not get better at crowd work.
True.
And that's the same with anything.
Yeah.
Like if you're flexing this muscle, eventually it's gonna come out fucking jacked.
Yeah.
And you're gonna that could be your specialty.
100%.
Like Drew Mitchell, for so long, if there was a bad room, he'd be like, I'm just gonna do crowd work. And now he's fucking sharp.
Really?
His tongue is nasty with it. And
good.
He can just break people down on another level because of all that practice he's done. And sometimes they walk out and everybody else claps. It's fantastic.
Fun. And he's also a guy that like I've seen him on the socials and like people have told me about him. Like apparently he's like a adventure sports kind of motherfucker.
He's the most interesting person that never talks about it.
Yeah, right.
Like on his day off, he climbs like a 14er with his dog and doesn't have to say anything about it. Like
just does that for him.
The first time I got him like solo on the podcast, I learned so much. We've been friends for years. It's just like, what?
Yeah. You do what?
Yeah.
With your time? Yeah. But yeah, that's what like Kate McLaughlin was like telling me about his life. I'm like, what, Drew? But I can see how if you live like that active fucking life, it should be easy to stand on stage. Be like, yeah, I jumped out of a helicopter this morning. Fuck you with your drunk ass mouth.
Right. But we started about the same time, and I can tell you, he's been that nervous guy. Like we've been trying to work out jokes where it's just like, man, I just don't want to eat shit again.
Right.
I need a win.
Yeah.
Like before I quit this goddamn stupid effort that I'm making, like I need a win.
Yeah.
And it always comes at the right time.
Right. Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's weird how you can be on a hot roll and then just eat shit for like a week. Like it's just peaks and valleys, baby. There's not a lot in between.
I know.
And in between isn't satisfying.
No.
It's not good enough to make you feel good about yourself, and it's not bad enough to make you work harder.
Yeah, and it helps to name it. Like, yeah, I'm just in a rut with my comedy. Like, I know Jacob like ended up naming that, and then he got through it really, really effectively. But yeah, it's just something I'll deal with it. Yeah, because it's not fun when you're just like telling the same jokes, but there's no new ideas, and you hate your jokes.
You're just stagnant.
Stagnant.
Like water full of mosquito larvae.
Yeah. And I can't imagine hearing, and if you like go up like tonight, if someone bombs tonight, they gotta wait a week. That's why I love Denver is you can go to the next mic right away and just like whether you bomb or whatever, you're just focused on a new experience.
Just wash that shit off.
Yeah.
I need to go to a bigger city for sure. I thought I was gonna move to Phoenix, and then COVID happened, and I was like, "Fuck that!" Right. I love this beautiful little bubble I'm in.
It's yeah. Oh, I mean, with COVID, yeah, you've got a beautiful setup.
But now that it's the world's opening back up and hopefully continues to. Yes. Makes me want to go to a bigger scene, man.
Yeah. No, 100%. And you should start by coming up to Denver.
I should.
Yeah, you got a place to stay.
And
even if like you and your girlfriend want to stay, I'll fucking take the couch for like a couple of days. I really don't care. I like building and being a part of this community in whatever form that ends up happening. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we get off this,
yes,
you guys are doing Dead Inside.
We are.
At the Durango Arts Center Saturday, 2 p.m.
Saturday, 2 p.m.
So this is coming out Friday. It'll come out Friday morning. So
fuck yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully somebody hears about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Come
know
see shows this weekend. Yeah, exactly. At the Four Corners Festival, we got Elliot Weber's headlining his festival. He's
fantastic.
All excited. And then Dead Inside, it'll be at 2 p.m. Mixture of sketch, stand up. We make you laugh about things that make us cry. But it's fun. It's fun to be in a new city, and like showing sketches in a live audience is such a treat because it's that's why you go to the movies, to laugh together, and when you get that in little small bites, it's just as fun.
Yeah, so how long is Dead Inside? I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's about like a 70-minute show-ish, depending on how many like guest comics are a part of it. And it starts off with a live sketch on a video screen, and then we have a character from that sketch interact with the audience, and the hijinks and shenanigans ensue. But then so there's a protagonist throughout the whole thing, but it's still a stand-up and sketch variety show, but with like some theater elements to it.
Seems like something you got to see to understand.
Definitely. Yeah.
I'm excited though.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the boys. I'm going to try to record as many podcasts this weekend as I can.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. I think Elliot said he's coming. I know Elliot's coming down the night before on Friday. And then Jacob and I are driving down Saturday for the show. And then we're hanging out around. But then Josh isn't flying until Sunday now.
Really?
Yeah.
But me.
Because he had some gigs that he had previously committed to with his like job on Saturday afternoon, so he's gonna fly in on Sunday, and we'll pick him up. But
nice. I think I'm on a show with Elliot, which is nice.
Nice.
I think PJ's on that show too.
Fuck yeah.
So should be a banger.
Yeah.
I haven't seen PJ in 2 years.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I've seen him a couple times in Denver.
Yeah, he seems like he's killing it.
Yeah, he's out there working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very. He promotes the shit out of himself.
I know.
Yeah.
And I love. He plays the game, and that's something I've like taken a while to like accept. Is like, you just gotta post on social media. You gotta like sell your shirts. You gotta people.
I hate it.
Yeah, you hate it, but
I hate that part of the game.
It is what it is though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what people know is what's on their fucking phone.
Right. I go, that guy's busy. I guess I'll book him.
Right.
I guess I'll give him a like.
I didn't even think about booking. Everybody here knows me.
Right.
Yeah.
There's another thing when you're competing with like hundreds of other comics who are trying to get booked. How do you stand out?
Video every goddamn Monday.
Every goddamn Monday on Dead Room Comedy. Yeah,
Dead Room Comedy, baby.
YouTube.
Do you put them on the website too, or just YouTube?
I think we
Instagram?
link them to the website.
Nice.
Yeah, we don't host them on that server though.
That makes sense. Why do it? There's other people doing that work already.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fucking upload it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Dude, thanks for having
stuffy
me.
all of a sudden. But I'm excited to do comedy night.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see your 30.
Yeah.
And this weekend, fucking Four Corners Comedy Festival.
Four Corners Comedy Festival.
Yeah. So, you got any closing statements you want to tell the motherfuckers?
Despite my friends, despite the pushback from the other Dead Room boys, I'm gonna say kindness is a verb. Okay, let's be kind.
Should make that shirt.
Kindness is a verb. Yeah. I don't know if it's my thought. I can't remember if someone told me when I was high or I listened to the podcast.
Sounds like
so
something
I can't make
that's
the
been
shirt.
said before.
100%.
Yeah.
It's on a little sign in like a Home Depot to make housewives feel good about their lives.
Ooh.
But also me, it resonates.
Fuck yeah.
Kindness is a verb.
All right, kindness is a verb. Shout out to Dead Room Comedy and shout out to Ethan Esparza and the Chava people for the intro, outro music. And we'll see you fuckers next week with another funny comic.
Hype.
Everything with cream cheese, orange juice, break fast. I'm out the door to get the dough, speaking to the masses. Hit the road to do a show, microphone madness. Trip easy, cheap sunglasses, straight passion. My third eye active, watching backpacks lead the show, beeping that shit vocally. Hearing me locally, lyrically, know what I'm supposed to be, and I don't got no fear of me. I'm coming for your brain, homie, coming at you spiritually. Stepped into the game, and I knew that flow was slippery, but check my flow though. Turn the whack news to history. Let them do their thing, instead I put them out their misery. And simply put, just got disconnected. Like my boy Big Money, man, this can't be neglected. Grab the mic and check it, coming up in your direction. Gift that I've been blessed with, this hustle is respected and reckless. Poetic mind on the set list, got the groove to match. Everybody step with it, still haven't fulfilled a whole vision yet. Life right now still so picturesque. I'm knocking every stage until I get a bigger check. Even though I hate money, ready for a bigger step. Pull the trigger next. Somebody coming at your neck. I could've died today. That's why I'm smoking cigarettes and got precision set of skills and imagination, creations, innovating with motivation. I'm chasing my goals, giants that I be racing. I'ma stride through the finish like a 6'5" Jamaican, beating my chest like yeah. Yeah, what my name is, ink on my chest. What my homie spray painting, summer day smoke escape. PlayStation, he looking down on me and I can't stay patient. I ain't just trying to say shit, sit back and face this. Real type, I've been smoking instrumental playlist, chill in the cut. Now these small places, I ain't getting love now, man. Fuck being famous, yeah, they tell me it's really hard to make it. They don't understand I love being underestimated. Second guess it and I'll take it that you're undereducated. Anyway, this got me thinking about them old records playing. Why? It's filled with soul and it fills my mind. Tail feather shaking while the rhythm takes flight. What I'm doing wrong, I ain't gonna fake right. I don't get no sleep because the music takes night. Nocturnal life with my basement lights. Just roll some nice, keep my drink on ice. If you don't get it once and you don't hear it twice, moving on this beat right here is out of sight. I'ma stay away. Stay away.